immigration. Like, I have many people, many friends after 4 years. So thank you so much. In my experience, even in difficult situation, when everything looks very hopeless, if you let God to lead you, he can show you ways that you even cannot imagine and your mind would never can found it. When the war started in my home country, yes, I first minute when my friend Mila sent me text, no, she sent me a video that her friends was doing in Kiev, and it was very loud. So it was the first missile that was hitting our capital. And first minute, I just didn't believe, like it was not possible. I thought it's probably just some little mistake. But then we realized, no, this is true. It's really happening. And living here in Montana, not much that I could do about this. I even couldn't really help my family and people that I love. And this first feeling, hopeless, I don't know, maybe it's another synonyms in English. It's when you losing all control of all your life. It's like you nothing that moment. And then next day we was driving with my husband to the gallery because like life is going, we do things, right? And it was my day work at the gallery and just crying, only one thing that I could do. But when I get to the gallery, I just think, okay, I just ask help. I just have to tell people what's going, how I feel, how. And with my friends on Facebook, it's where I wanted to share. So I just did a little short video, live video, and I told people what's going in Ukraine. And I asked, I would like to help in some way, at least my close friends, because I know right now it will be very hard. And I asked, would you like to buy my art so I can help? And I was surprised, amazed. People start buying my art from my website just the next minutes. People across of US, all my friends, customers, people who collecting my art, like I start receive sale by sale. And it's going already a few months, people supporting me in this way. And as they support me, I can support many people in Ukraine. And I remember I start contacting all my friends. It's what we did. We just found out what is with people we know. We just, how are you? Are you okay? Where are you? What you doing? How are you? And I start propose people some little help. And what surprised me, many people didn't want to take money. They told me, send it to the army, send it to the volunteers, send to people who try to defend my country. So, but also my family was in very complicated situation. And so my family, my brother lived in Moscow and his wife is a Russian citizen and he's Ukrainian. And my mom was staying with him that moment. So I knew they have to leave just right away. And it was many complications about them to leave. And I called my friend in Ukraine and I told her, Alla, please, can you please pray for my family? Because I don't know how it can happen. So we bought one flight tickets and flight was canceled. And we had to wait a weekend to buy new tickets. And each day that moment was like, each minute was important to them to leave. And my friend contacted her friends and they start praying about my family. And so it was people who was in the basement in danger, and they was praying for my family. And then later I found out that it was a big group of people who get together every day, many like you, online, in different cities, in different countries, even people from different, with different beliefs. It's not like one church. It's people connected to different churches. And they get together and pray generally about situation in Ukraine, but also they pray very particular needs about different people who right now in some troubles. And it's also gave me hope, because if you know that another people also talk to God about you, about your family, that you're more connected, right? You receive like some straight. And the two things, first, that I started to do something, I was able to do something to help, and I saw the result of things what we did. All my friends here in Helena helped a lot. So we really collected money, and each day we would wire it to Ukraine. And the first days was very important to help evacuate people from the war zone, especially city Kharkov, it's close to my hometown. It was very bad situation. It was a lot of shelling and people suffer. So we helped to buy gas, to found cars, and evacuated a few thousand people just with money that people gave me or people purchased my art. And it was big relief for us, you know, because we know each life is precious and we just want to save just as much as we could. So, and my family left the Russia, and it's also, of course, change your perspective, right? When you know the people that you love is safe. And right now they in Germany, and I know that my brother also now works to help refugee. So, and it's nice. And I know that prayers had a big part in that escape, I can tell, because they was stopped and my brother was asked. And so it wasn't easy thing to left that country. So during these 6 months, I saw so many examples how God leads the situations and how faith can change something that doesn't look nice at all. My friend Ala, that was praying about my family, also had a family in city Mariupol. And you probably heard about this city. This city totally, completely destroyed, few 100,000 people killed. So her cousin and his wife and 2 kids lived here with parents. And the only way to escape from this city was go to the Russia, because it was no ways go to Ukraine. When people tried to go to direction to Ukraine, they just simply was killed. And like, probably you remember how was that. So they had drive cars through the Russian territory. And she called me and told, please pray. And I also called me that we have to pray about Ala's family. They will try to escape with 2 little kids. And they left parents behind because parents, they didn't want to go. They didn't have a good health condition to go. Like, so it was hard choice to left the family like without supplies in ruined city. But so they drive to the direction Moscow and then to Poland. When they was on the road in Moscow, they was stopped 3 times through the police because they have a Ukrainian plates. 2 times they just let them go. And 3rd policeman told them that he doesn't support the war in Ukraine. And he very mad of what is going. And Allah's cousin, he couldn't believe that it's happening. And I know this really was possible just because of prayers of many people. I know many people was that time with this family. And they successfully arrived to Poland. Yeah, and met with my friend because she that time was staying in Poland. So, and now I know kids already go to the kindergarten. The adults already get a job. So, yeah, yes. I don't know anything about their parents. Like we don't have any connection. Like we didn't have connection with these people for 2 months at all. So, but this one more very powerful story which show me how God can change the most hopeless situation and how real miracles are happening. Yes. While I was preparing this meeting and this talk, we received really good news from Ukraine. If you watch it last few days news, you could see that Ukrainian army liberated about more than 3,000 square kilometers of Ukrainian territories. It's a lot of little towns, villages, people who was in occupation about 6 months. And I see on Facebook Ukrainian soldiers, when they crossing these villages, they doing little videos. And we see along the street, on each video, I see people staying, waving. I saw people on their knees, and people express so many emotions. I see women running to these tanks, cars, trucks, whatever, and bringing some food, invite them to eat with them. And many people telling all this time we were praying. I hear it's over and over how people telling, but the one particular video is very touch me because so it was a little group of people, maybe like 5 people, and they was staying near the fence of their house with 2 large Ukrainian flags. And it's just like 1 second video, and then I stop it and I play it again. And then I think, how these people kept these 2 flags 6 months in occupation? I think, wow, this is the real sign of bravery. But it's not only bravery, it's real sign of what is it face. In these obstacles when they could be killed each minute for nothing, just because they're Ukrainian. They kept this flag, they believed the day when this will be over is coming, and they will need it to greet the Ukrainian army. And I don't know, would I be able to keep it? You know, because for their safety wasn't very wise, I would say. And at the same time, as more territories was liberated, we really received like a absolutely horrible news. Was discovered a big mass grave just a few days ago near city Izum. So in this mass grave was found 440 people, whole families, little kids. The people, mostly all was tortured, some people with tied hands, no names. And I also saw on one, so it's a photos, I didn't really watch them much because it's like that you, something that you cannot take. But I saw a wrist with a little blue yellow, like a little bracelet. Even in that situation, people kept it and they died with it. And I mean, I'm so thankful that even knowing all these things, God probably just, I don't know, covered me and many people and kept us from losing the faith. Just give us understanding that this is the evil that we just have to fight, and it's nothing about questioning God. And especially when I see this face in people who is in real danger, because I am not. I'm just suffering because I see painful things and because I'm worried about my family, about my friends, because many of my friends right now joined military, and I know that right now they in the very hot places fighting for the freedom and just for surviving. It's not only war where we try to defend our values. It's just our fight just to survive as a nation and just simply save our kids for future generation. So I probably just will repeat, but this is a very important understanding for me. The faith help you don't be a victim. And the worst thing that we can do to ourselves is start to feel as victims. Because when you feel as a victim, it means you cannot do nothing. You don't have any influence on your life, on life people that you love. And it gives you right, don't do anything. It's just like excuse, don't help yourself, don't help another people. But when you let God to lead you, you can call it intuition, because this is it's a very something that doesn't have a physical shape. It's something that just fly like 1 second. And depends of your personal spiritual conditions at moment, you or can be open and follow what God asks you. Or you can be so much in your mind and you just don't see, don't hear, don't feel. And then you start be or fight with your own ideas, which is not necessary, will lead you in right direction. So it's like this, your opening to God will let you move. And also it's give you the strength to act. And you can help yourself and you can help another people. And just a short time ago, I meet one young girl, and she told me that after what she saw, what happening in Ukraine, she doesn't, I don't remember how she put it. She doesn't believe in God anymore, something like, you know, like she's so frustrated and so disappointed. And I told her, and what about before? How was your connection with God before? She told, when I was little, my grandma took me to the church. I told, oh, probably you never had him in your life. So this is why it's so easy for you to lose it. So maybe you just need to try to be open to him and let him talk to you. And then you will find that it's not his fault what is going. So, I mean, why am I saying it? Because we as a human beings, we so often rely on ourselves. I don't know, or health insurance, government, our families. And we don't live really, don't give much place for God in our life because we think we protected in many different ways and our life, for example, wonderful at that moment. And then when something happened and you see that all this stuff can't help us, then we turn our face to God. But probably would be much more easier for us to stay connected all the time, right? So in hard moment of our life, it will be more easy or more possible to go through these things. And it's lesson for me. It's not like I'm talking somebody staying like, you know, and I do all these mistakes daily, you know. And this situation, how horrible it is, and you still can find good, and it's a lot. Yeah, mostly because God still here, and He's taking care about us, even it's not look like sometimes. If you would like to ask me about something, what's going in Ukraine or something else.
Thank you, Svetlana, for speaking to us. It feels like the war has become old news, and there might be a little peace or something. And I'm wondering, like us as a community or us as Helena, what you would like to see, how we could be more helpful.
Thank you for question. I think at this point, when this war going already long time, and like media losing the interest because a lot different things, and also how much people can take of these horror pictures, right? I think just if you can, just don't be silent about this. Just keep talk to another people. And when I walk streets, I see all my sunflower prints. I see in many houses in downtown Ukrainian flags. This is a lot. This is a lot. It's keep attention.
Would you share the size of your country? I thought that was pretty interesting compared to Montana. And would you also share, you've collected a lot of money to send there. Would you also mind sharing that?
Yeah. So Ukraine is the biggest country in Europe. Ukraine is bigger than Montana, definitely. Population was 52 million, but right now I cannot tell you. So, you know, many people left country, people dead. So, but many, what I can tell you, many of my friends who left Ukraine coming back, even it's not safe at all. I see many people coming back, and people doesn't want live somewhere, even like Poland, Germany, Latvia, Litva, Spain, France. They really helping Ukrainian refugee. People receive everything they need. People like my family, they receive place to live. My brother receive a job right away. My mom will have also some help kids in school. And I know it's all Ukrainians, especially who has kids, receive everything they need. But people want to go home. And I hear in all my friends on Facebook, they just won't go home. And it's a nice places where they live, but they have their own homes. Who have so, you know. I'm sure after war over, the mostly all Ukrainians will become back. Maybe somebody will who really was traumatized too much will stay in Western Europe, but mostly will come back, right? Mila's family, they could leave, they could come here, they just stay in Ukraine. Oh, yeah, so science beginning of the March. Oh, I think I collected about $30,000. So, and this money keep going, keep coming. So I can't sold almost all original art that I had, but I printed a lot of cards and everything, and few businesses in downtown, like a Montana bookstore, Bear Grass Trading Company, Bonnie's Books, General Mercantile. They selling my cards, Mountain Sage Gallery, my gallery. So, and all this money that they given me from these cards, I said, send. Also, I have a few supporters, just a few people who just time to time, like one time in months, come and regularly give me some checks, some little, some big. So I just keep. And we have in Ukraine, I have many friends, right? So many of my friends who is not join army, they are volunteers. So some people in Kiev created like a place where they making protective vests. So they can just like full production. And other people are trying like responsible to found the metal for this. So it's where a big part of my money going for the moment. Also, another people buying different medical supplies, mostly in Western Europe, and one team is deliveries. It's also my friend. So some part of money we send here. And all money going through one, my friend. She's in Ukraine. Now she's not in Ukraine, but back in Ukraine, she was like, had a big business, factory. So she's really good about how to keep accounting. So I just sent her money and she know all needs and she contact people. So I don't, sometime I see somebody from my friends need help, then I tell her, can you please send? But mostly she just decide where to send this money. So, and it's the all people that we work, I can say work, they all people that I know more than 15 years. So I trust completely. And I know this money definitely don't go in any pockets. It just go where it should be.
So just let me say that one way that we could help would be for all of us to send people to Sage Gallery downtown to purchase cards and to facilitate Svetlana getting that money to other
Yeah.
people.
Thank you. Thank you so much for your beautiful words. I'm just curious about what brought you to Montana.
Oh, I get married, and at that time, my husband moved from Idaho to Montana, so I came. I came twice just as a visitor, so I liked it, and then we get married, and I moved here.
Thanks for sharing.
Well, I have another comment. One of the things that's coming up in my heart is that it is extraordinary what the largest country in Europe has been subjected to. But the absolute magic of it, if I may say, is that it brought the world together. And I think that the heart of the Ukrainian people has been such a profound model for all of us to come together and to not give up, to not just become, as you said, the victim, but to stand up in knowing what is right and taking that action. And Svetlana, the work that you're doing, I'm so proud of you as a woman, human being, woman of faith, stepping up, taking action. That's a gift to our community, the model that you're being. So just very grateful. Anybody else have any comments? Okay. Thank you very, very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lana. Now is our time of offering. So this is our opportunity to support this community, which spreads out that support into the community, into the country, and even beyond that. So please freely donate what you can with willingness, cheerfulness, joyfulness, lovingness, given that spirit, because we know that that spirit of giving is returned to us. So all of those blessings are circular. They do come back to us. So this is our time. I guess I don't have my offering up here. I'll put it in later to support our community. How blessed we are to have Lana and Mila in our community, because it reaffirms that we are all one, that whatever happens to one of us affects all of us, and that every act of goodness reverberates and continues out, not just to our friends, to our community, but even beyond. We are all one, and everything that we send out, ripples out. So we are so grateful to have Mila and Lana here to remind us of our community, of our connectedness. The sound of a check. Is there anything sweeter? Thank you so much. And now I'll bless our offering with a blessing that I know is used in many New Thought churches, and that is divine love through us blesses and multiplies all that we have, all that we give, and all that we receive. Thank you so much. And now, do we have announcements? Okay. Welcome, Diane, to make our announcements.
Good morning, everybody, and Svetlana and Mila, thank you for coming. Um, it's an eye-opening experience to hear you tell about it. We see the news, we hear the news, and then it gets put away, but it's with us now. We are behind you. I love your president. He's shown courage, determination, as all your people have. And as Rosie and Catherine said, it's a good role model for us, and America needs that right now. So again, thank you. I wanted to show you what Svetlana brought, and this is a print, is that right? Very affordable, and I hope that we can put one in every house, in a window, in every house in Helena. Pardon? Yes, her neighbors have already done that. And so we need to spread the word and the painting. The announcements now. Sunday service, as always, we're doing this in Zoom as well as in person. And you'll receive an email with a link to the program, and you can watch this again or any other previous service. And we continue having the first Sunday of each month by Zoom, so that it allows us to have guest speakers that are working remotely. And we also support Helena Food Service or Food Share, and Marilyn Hayes is here. She's our coordinator. This is the third Sunday of the month, and she stands ready also to accept cash or checks if you would like to give toward Helena Food Share. Susan has reminded us that they do need egg cartons and the grocery plastic bags so that they can be recycled for the people getting the groceries there. Helena's Independent Record is catching some flack now for downsizing the daily newspaper, but HCCL's monthly newsletter, beautifully put together by Reverend Jean and her sister, Tricia, it's emailed on the first of every month, and it informs us about church activities, classes, services, and more. If you're not already receiving it, we'd love to add you to our email list. Let's see. I can't do this without the notes. Thank you all for your financial support. You've made the service possible and so much more. No matter what the world news is, HCCL keeps us connected and hopeful here in Helena and helpful to the world through guest speakers like Svetlana and our charitable contributions to worthy organizations. Donations can be made to HCCL by check or online. And if you travel out of state or even out of the country, PayPal is a safe, easy method to donate. We thank you very much. Please indicate if it's a general donation or if it's designated for another purpose. Our next week's speaker is Orlinda Worthington, and we're excited and blessed to have her coming from Bozeman. The Science of Mind magazines, the new ones are in today, and they're on the table at the back of the sanctuary. And for just $5, you can not only get a current issue, but a free past issue that you can read, pass on to others, because it has a sticker on the back with information on HCCL and an invitation to the next reader to attend a service here. The Mind Shop is open today, and Sue Dostal, our manager, did you want to add anything about the Mind Shop being open next door? Oh, there's 2 copies of Reverend Charles' book, and they're on the back too. And thank you all for coming again. I just feel blessed to have been here, and I'm going to cry next. So, but thank you.
We are blessed, and I will end with our benediction. So, we are blessed we have been able to be touched so deeply by the words of our speaker, Svetlana Prouty, to remind us that in spite of appearances, that God is always there in every person, no matter how it looks, in every situation, no matter how it looks, and everywhere. We are so blessed to be reminded that we are never victims, that there is always something that we can do. And if we can come to that quiet place in trust and in faith, that there is guidance, that there is help, and there is that underlying wisdom that none of us are alone. We have that Christ presence within, that God within, that connects us with every other person, not just in our community, but beyond that, throughout the world. We send our love, we strengthen our faith to that country that Svetlana and Mila have come from, the strong, beloved family in Ukraine. And now as we take those words and remind ourselves that that faith keeps us from being victims and keeps us powerful, we'll carry that out into the community, to every person that we touch, with compassionate hearts, with deep faith, and with the trust that God is always with us. I am so grateful for Svetlana, who spoke to us today. I am so grateful for this community and all who make it possible, for our board, for Taylor, who makes sure that this technology works for us, for all of the supporters who contribute their time, their talents, and their treasure. And I release this word now into that divine mind, which makes it so. And so it is. And I think as we go out, well, we're going to have some music suggested and by our guests, Mila and Svetlana.